devils of the tools.
The devils of the tools?
The devils of the tools,
Tools
man.
of the devil.
Nah, the tools of the devil.
That sounds nice too.
What is this, episode
Sounds like a
101?
rock
Is
album.
it already recorded?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
101!
101.
So I'm probably yelling.
Alright.
Uno cero uno.
Well, he's about to watch.
Ciento uno.
This episode is gonna be about the tools of the devil
And
how to turn them against the devil. Alright.
Yeah.
Romo.
or to better yourself. It's not like we're fighting the devil.
I
Okay,
think
in the
that's-
word. In the
yeah.
end, there's gonna be a word that we're gonna use. Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, it's basically, the emotions that we have are basically, tools of the devil. It's like, what is it that, Chris, like, in your mind, what do you think that the devil uses to try to destroy,
Personally,
to try to
me?
use against us?
Me?
Like, what is his ultimate goal against us?
Anger. He'll throw anger at me because I have a relationship with anger. My family has a relationship with anger, so he'll try to throw stuff that'll try to piss me off.
Mm.
Right. And I can easily, and I can feel it, and it's an inner battle because I was like, I can feel like in that time, like, yo, I really want to just clap back, or I want to just, or I hold it in, and then I ended up releasing it on somebody else, and it takes years of fucking practice, but we got to use that tool, and I guess in a way of going against the devil is like use that and go exercise and make yourself better and be a better soldier for God, or create something.
Can I expand on what you just said?
Yeah.
All right, you have to look at an emotion like anger, like once you have that in you, look at yourself as a vehicle, like literal car, right?
Yeah.
And let's say now you've just the gas you've thrown on yourself, the fuel that's in you is anger. Let me tell you what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be like you're driving a 1987 Suburban. You're gonna get like 7 miles a gallon on that.
Yeah.
But if you can flip it, if you can start instead, try to find a way to flip, and the opposite of anger is love. Opposite of anger is love. You know what I'm saying? And right away you start thinking, you know what? This could be bad, but it could be worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it worse if I act on this anger. And you
Yes.
think on that, and you try to find a doorway to good feelings. You try to flip that to love, because when you fill your tank with love, that's like running. That's like a car that runs on water. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Love is like infinite almost, and it refuels itself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, then you become like a Tesla.
See, you think about anger. Anger, when you give that out, it's quickly gonna burn 2 people out real quick. Love. The more love you give, the more love you can give. It like love is its own fuel. It multiplies. You know what I'm
slow
saying?
burning
Yeah.
fire.
So even though yes, you think about I want to spit fire right now, it would be a lot better to say, you know what? I don't agree with you, but I'm gonna respect your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Some
Even if you don't.
yeah, even if you don't, and I've done yes, bro. You gotta eat it. You gotta eat it, bro.
Yeah,
You know what?
like humble pie.
And at the end of the day, bro, that person who was probably already expecting a battle, they'll be so thrown off that they won't even know what to do, and you'll be like, damn, okay, I did good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you think about. They could be yelling in my face right now after I said something to them, and I'd be sitting here. We just be fighting now. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Verbally jousting.
Right.
And there's no point in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So because I thought with love, love means not giving into anger is an act of love. You know what I'm saying? Not giving in to those to negative emotions that Roman's going to talk about that the devil uses to get to you. You know what I'm saying? That's an act of love, an act of self-love, because you didn't in that moment decide to waste your life force on anger or on these other negative emotions. Instead, you chose to try to give yourself a little self-love, a little self-respect, a little restraint. Just that little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like fire, right? And
Yeah.
instead of like spitting that fire like a flamethrower, instead you
can-
consume it, and then you make it like just a beautiful candle
Yes.
that you can share.
Yes. All right, go ahead.
You always have to remember, the ultimate thing that the devil wants to do is to destroy all of God's creatures, or you turn them into his own minions. Is what he wants to do. We always got to remember, we are all the spitting image of God. Every one of us, individually, no matter how different we are all, from the same Creator.
Mm.
And the devil doesn't like that, and he's going to try to find every which way to destroy us all differently, individually. And that's his ultimate goal. Is always
Physically, mentally, emotionally,
Spiritually, at
This
every
is how
level.
this is how somebody explained it to me recently. This is what the devil will do. He will destroy. First, he will try to destroy your social life.
Okay.
Then he will destroy your family life. And then he will destroy your spiritual. He will try to break that. He will destroy everything that you have around you, It don't, and social doesn't have to be just friends. It could be your farm. It could be things like the market. It could be, you know, your craft, like you're just not selling very much anymore. It's anything that the devil can use to destroy everything that you use to take care of yourself. He's gonna do. All right.
Just like work, friends,
He will also,
school, shit.
and in doing that, what is that gonna cause at home? It's gonna cause a lot of rifts. It's gonna cause a lot of, you know, maybe, you know, budgeting that needs to happen. You know, arguments with the family. You know, you might lose a son.
Well, the devil's been attacking the family thing for a while because now parents have to be out of the home.
People think that's normal, yo. Like
Right.
Exactly.
a lot of people grow up thinking that, oh no, mom and dad, what do you mean they have to be home? They've never been home for me, so I'm not gonna do that either. And it's like, yo, that's how
That's
it
the
needs
problem.
to be. Yeah, that's how it needs to be, yo. That's how God intended to be, yo. I got nothing against anybody, woman, whatever, want to work and get a job. But if you have a family, that should be your first priority.
Well, you have to at least acknowledge the fact that prior to like what the 40s or something.
People were more well put together, yes.
Like a dad, one person could work in the home, and it was enough to feed everybody, supply everything. The mom or the dad, whoever. I mean, I'm sure there was dads that would stay home and the mom worked. Probably was super duper extra rare, but somebody stayed home with the kids all the time. Now you have to admit it's not a choice anymore. They made at first in the 70s. It's like, oh, we want the choice. Now you're forced to, and now the kids are raised by the television.
It's like a three-pronged attack. Check this out. So they find a way to get both parents out of the home to leave the child unattended. So that way the parent can no longer be involved in their education. So now they're getting filled with this stupid stuff in school, like we're finding out. You know what I'm saying? And then because once again they're not being supervised and they're home alone, they throw all that horrible shit at them on the YouTube,
on the television,
and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, to me, it almost sounds like I said a three-pronged attack to indoctrinate and brainwash children. You know what I'm saying?
To destroy.
I mean, if you're talking like conspiracies, but I'm just saying that's a theory there. You know what I'm saying? It's a theory.
And then the final thing that he attacks is you're stupid. He's gonna make you break. I always look at whenever people go through hard times as a wager between God and the devil. The devil declared that you're weak. And God is saying you're not. God is saying you're stronger than what He is saying that you are. And you know, some people they just succumb to the weaknesses. Some people, you know, they find strength in all of them. And it shows a difference in every one of us. My bad.
I mean, as crazy as the story of Job is, we gotta be like Job. You know, like how that's because when the battle, like there's like it's like a bet. Like I bet you he'll fucking fold. And then God's like, man, I know him. He's real.
But the ultimate thing is
it's kind of fucked up, right?
He's gonna break you now.
Yeah.
He's gonna attack you now, and then if you succumb to the first two, you're gonna succumb to the last one, and which is he'll attack you personally. He'll make you, like you said, he'll make you break the family apart. You lose everything. You're all by yourself. You're alone, and then he's gonna start attacking you. Like, see, this is why you're alone. This is why you're an alcoholic. This is why you're this.
And then you become a tool to destroy others.
Like, for example, you know, you could say that, oh, you know, because my cousins died and my family fell apart and my brother's not a good guy and me and my dad don't get along. You could look at that and say, you know, oh my gosh, like the devil's been attacking me and this and that and it's horrible. Like, once again, like Job, right? Like, my life is horrible. But see, if you can keep your faith and look at that shit as a lesson, because look, now that he's dealt with so much shittiness and loneliness in his life, he's not gonna allow that to happen to his nephews or his niece. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you see, in a way, yes, horrible things have happened to you, but look, they didn't break you, and God knew that. God knew that you were gonna take it, and in the end, you were gonna become this awesome, you know,
warrior.
Yes, awesome warrior, and you were gonna do what we're meant to do: protect His most precious creatures, His babies, His little children.
Instead of destroying.
Even though right now they're still the devil's tools, those heathens you gotta.
Nah, they're not heathens. They're very blessed little angels.
That's why they go after the kids, because kids are so pure and innocent, and they just
radiate
love.
But the crazy thing is that God has also used kids to help you.
That's what I'm saying.
God will speak through these kids to most definitely try to help you.
Yeah.
And again, you know, it's like, well, if we're being attacked with our emotions and this and that, what do you mean? Like, we've already answered the anger one. What other emotions could there be? Well, it's like sadness. Sadness can be a very useful tool for the devil.
Mhm.
Let's say you go through a hard breakup and you're just left with a lot of questions and no answers, and your confidence is completely broken. You know, the devil will attack you, and he'll keep attacking you to make you feel like you're not worth it. You know, yeah, she left you because of this reason. And
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Right.
You start blaming yourself.
You didn't
and then-
deserve her.
And you start blaming others, and then you just start kind of falling apart. The
You don't deserve
devil-
anybody.
Exactly, because he's attacking you. Now he's starting to use that three-pronged attack. Like, see, I took your social, or I took your family life, which is your girlfriend, your wife, or whoever it is. Now you're starting to miss work. Now you're starting to do all these things. You're being irresponsible.
Starting
Now
to
he's
attack
attacking.
money
Now he's attacking. You know,
Well-being.
your social.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what your craft. Now he's gonna attack you personally with the sadness. Now how you turn that? Well, you can take this and start loving yourself. You know, if you feel sad, the best thing that I do personally is I'll go write. I write sad poetry. That's fine. I don't mind admitting that, because what it does is it helps me put that thought on the paper, and it clears my head out of the thought. And it's like I can either make a beautiful poem or I can make a very sad one. But
Edgar Allan Romo.
I can basically create something, and that is the ultimate thing. See, people get it confused with like, okay, the devil's all about destruction. Well, what is God all about? God is always about creation.
Romo Spear.
You get what I'm saying? It's
I was gonna say Shel Silverstein. Remember that one?
No. See?
The fart when the sidewalk ends.
Oh.
Oh wow.
you know, so it's like, you know, it's using these emotions to create something or
Yes.
to do something in the future. Like you go through a breakup and you're going through all these emotions. You know, you're angry, you're sad. You know, you attack yourself. Well, take this stuff and use it to apply it to make yourself better. Like, okay, yeah, let's take the lessons, because a lot of people don't want to admit their L's. They don't want to admit that, no, it's not my fault. How about that? That's the main thing I think the last generation was missing, was humility. To being able to admit and say, I'm wrong. And
Right.
say, you know, I didn't know what was up, but I'm trying to figure it out now. I think that would have solved a lot of issues for a lot of us when we were younger than them doing it now. But you take how you get it.
Yeah.
That's for us to solve in our own time frame. Like,
I think barely now men are becoming, because I mean, I guess there is such a thing. As much as I talk shit about it, toxic masculinity prevailed for a while, because like our fathers and their fathers and probably their fathers
And now
would
what do
never
you,
admit.
yeah, and what do you have
fault.
now? You have a bunch of men who just
Betas.
have so many
So we gotta-
emotions that they're weighed down by that they can't even function right.
Well, it's
bro.
just like what is it? Like some kind of thing. Eventually, it's gonna balance.
The women have had to fill that alpha void. Like you, honestly, go out there right now and tell me this generation. Tell me you don't see that the younger generation is that all the females are the ones who are alpha and dominant. All the males are the ones who are all emotional and like don't know what the fuck
It's
they
kind
want.
it's kind of the devil's been attacking the man in a
Mhm.
lot of ways, taking
Yeah.
away their
Yeah.
because I mean it's good to have pride, but then they're taking away all the pride.
Well, it made you too prideful. That's the thing. You're too prideful to ever say anything. So now you're this pent up ball of emotion. So you're all depressed. You want to be not
taking it out on video games and shit.
Yeah. Or you know what? I hate to say it, bro, but I think this is also the big wave of gay people. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't handle being in a relationship with these dominant ass women who are so aggressive for me. I'm gonna just go be with a dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like real shit,
By
bro.
default, and they might not even actually feel like that. They're just like, I just can't get
and
them.
you know what? As a dude, if that's how you feel, hey, nothing against you, bro. I know life is hard, you know, but hey, I'm just saying that I feel like that's what's up.
Well, I mean, there's probably women who go through dudes that are so douchebaggy and beta that they end up like
That
dating
doesn't
us
go. Hold
strong
on. You can't be a douchebag in beta. You have to be
Right.
a douche. Only douchebags are alphas.
alphas, right?
Yeah. Now a beta is those. Oh, I don't know what I want.
And then they end up like finding like a more masculine woman that'll actually
Like for
Take care of
example,
them.
like for example, when you're away from Ramirez, you're pretty alpha. Once you get
Hey,
near
let's
her,
not put her
Oh!
I've never said her name on the podcast.
We're gonna rewind this. Want me to yell? No, I don't want you to delete that. Man up.
Yeah.
Forget that pride. Come on, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. I have a
Listen.
crush. I have a crush on this girl I once knew, named Ramirez.
Oh, okay. Now you don't have to keep saying it. But anyway, all right, go ahead with your.
The next one,
points.
talking about lust. I want to talk about how the devil, because that's how, that, in my
Yes.
opinion, that's the one the devil uses to try and tempt me the most. You know, to throw me off the path, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like lust. You know, like
Interesting.
every aspect. You know, like y'all know that I've taken some initiatory steps, and I made some vows, other vows, and obviously these vows are affecting other vows I've made in life. I'm not sound like I'm just talking like a goddamn riddle, but one day
it makes
call
sense.
him the Riddler.
It makes sense.
But but basically a lot of spiritual vows that I've taken have started getting away with. I'm gonna be straight. Okay, the marital vows, the vows I've made to the woman I'm supposed to be there to live with the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's starting to clash, and you know what? Like that's actually what's gonna happen, bro. You're gonna have to make a choice whether once you realize how if you want to walk the spiritual path and you really want to walk it, well, bro, you're gonna realize that there's some things you didn't even know about life that are going to make you have to assess what you're doing as a person in general, right? Like, wow, like these things that we've taught are normal are actually not normal, and they're really bad for you, right? I'm not going to preach, but when you find out some of these things, some people can walk away from it. Some people can be like, oh, you know what? I mean, you know what? This is where my spiritual journey stops. I can't go any further. I refuse to.
I'll keep that window closed for now.
Yeah,
I know it exists.
But for me,
it's kind of chilly if I open that window.
But for me, when these information is brought to you,
you had no choice.
This is like God saying, choose here and now. There is no try. Yoda will say, you do or you don't. And if this cup is passed to you, you can take it or you can't. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you can choose whether you want to hit that next fifth, sixth dimensional spiritual level of knowledge, or whether you want to retain.
The scary thing about that is another way the devil attacks you is that sometimes that means that you have to walk that path alone.
But that's the thing. That is walking the path. But see, that's the thing, and that's the thing. A lot of what's gone on has made me see that my support system was not the support system I thought I had. My real support system is the one that I was taking for granted. You know what I'm saying? I depended a lot on my wife. I looked at her as like, oh, I like she's got my back over anything, like so I
almost like a parent. Or
and that's not a good thing. If that's how you feel about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and your spouse, you need to get your head out of your ass and you
reevaluate.
Yes, because
it's not in the sense
you're damn near idolizing somebody right now. You know
pretty much, and then that's a scripture in the Bible. You're not supposed to do that.
Like Chris said, as your parent, you only got a parent. You got a set of parents, and they're not supposed to be the person you're supposed to be helping take care of. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when like I said, when my marital vows started clashing with my spiritual vows, I realized that the best support system I had was y'all, my friends, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? That we talk about Philadelphia a few podcasts ago. This is with me, I seen it in action. This is why I can speak on it. That it's so powerful, and that true brotherhood, true friendship. It can save a life, because there's love there. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, and that's so hard for people to find friends. I got family who complains on social media that they don't have friends.
Because you're stuck on the damn social media.
It's a crazy thing. Social media makes people antisocial, and then this like real friends.
Bro, we should label it really. It's anti-social media. That's what it really is. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're not being social, and everything that people put on there is either
bullshit
or fake. Or they're trying to sell you something. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. It's. I mean, we use it to put out a platform or whatever, or we do it for the podcast or whatever. But
or to connect with family.
Yeah.
So,
but it's really just a waste of time. I can just go and call them and go visit them if I really want to be social with them.
We're talking about lust. We're not the.
Oh, but
social
lust
is it's too, bro.
Lust
is
Instagram.
Instagram.
Lust over it, and it's also lust in women. Period for men. And it could be your greatest weakness.
So, for example,
or even just sex, just the act of sex.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that with addictions.
So for example, with me, once I started going through issues with my marriage and shit, and what's the devil gonna do? He's automatically gonna start making other females look attractive, more attractive. He's automatically gonna put more females in my path to try and get me to be like, you know what? Why don't I give up on this marriage and just go fuck with this floozy? You know what I'm saying? And that'd be easy to do, right? That'd be easy to do. Would that solve my problem? I mean, it would remove it, but it wouldn't solve it. You know what I'm saying? Like
problems.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And in fact, it would be breaking some. In that moment, I would be breaking not just marital vows, but some of those spiritual vows as well, as you guys know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so that's a test for me, because you don't want to. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to have to keep on not feeling love. So I could easily go and just fall into some pussy, but that would be breaking everything else. You know what
And
I'm
it's
saying?
just synthetic love.
Yeah,
It's not real love.
and as much as I've been conditioned by society to think that sex and yes, just having another female there to just another shoulder to cry on is gonna fill some hole.
Yeah.
It's not gonna fill any hole. It's gonna create another fucking hole. You know what I'm saying?
Cause more damage to the foundation. It's like a temporary solution that makes it worse.
As soon as, like you said, post-nut clarity was the realest thing you ever experienced, bro. And as soon as I'm in that pussy, I'll probably realize, holy shit, what have I just done? You know
I was
what
just
I'm
thinking about that today, like all the STDs out there and shit. And everything that's available.
man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is the anxiety.
And it's not just that. It's like you said, as soon as you turn on your phone, you can't do anything. I mean, I'm glad I stopped fucking with social media back when the COVID first started, bro. Like in 2019, literally 2020, the first lockdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The first lockdowns that we
It was like the due year, right? When they started doing this shit.
March. Yeah, it was March.
Oh, okay.
Because my birthday was literally the next fucking day. Remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember.
So anyhow, I got off. So I got off social media since then. I haven't fucked with it, but I can tell you, yes, like lust is all over social media. You know what I'm saying? The temptation of lust, the temptation to click on these other profiles of females looking all sexy and be like, ooh, what are they up to? But in that moment, bro, what are you doing? You're already sinning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're already jumping in the lust pool. You know what I'm saying? You've already guided these thoughts in your head gearing up. You know what I'm saying? And it's so society made you think that some of the stuff is okay. You know what I'm saying? It's innocent. There's no such thing as innocent lusting. You know what I'm saying? That's what the devil will tell you. Oh, just a little bit is okay. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you go. Like I said, nothing against anyone who has their own differing opinions from what I'm saying. But I strongly feel that, hey man, I don't really have to defend this. It's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. Like the devil is the one who's gonna tell you a little bit's okay, or just one time, or if you do it with the right person, or whatever.
It's just like heroin or crack or something.
Yeah, like for me, the devil would say, she doesn't, your wife doesn't understand you. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all are on the same page right now. You know what? She never will. She's never gonna love you the way you want to be loved. So you give up on her and just go find some other floozy. You know what I'm saying? That's what the devil will tell me, and that's what he's been trying to tell me.
And you know what? And what ties into that, as well as social media, and another tool that the devil uses is fear.
Fear of being alone, yeah.
Well, just fear.
Like for example, no, for me, that's how
Okay.
that's where it is. The devil knows that, like, yeah. I mean, it would suck for me. I would be really, I would feel for a little while, sad and whether or not if I ended up having to divorce my wife, but I'm not gonna be alone for long. You know what I'm saying? And once you're able to accept that, you're like, okay, well,
you're never really alone.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that fear, but like I said, that's the main one that gets a lot of people. You don't want to be alone, so you do dumb shit. You put up with dumb people. You know what I'm saying?
Jump from relationship to relationship.
Yes, toxic ones. Or, they don't even think straight. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't want, the fear of being alone is really what, and so you're not really ever experiencing love. You're never in love. You just want someone to fill this, like I said, this never-ending hole in your that you have in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That only you can fucking feel.
Yes. If you don't love yourself, it don't really matter, bro. And that's one of the journeys that this whole battle has taken me on. To learn how to really love and accept myself, bro, and know that, hey man, as long as you love yourself, you're gonna be alright, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be alright. And yeah.
Powerful.
Yep.
Fear. So yeah, fear.
So fear will make you turn against your brethren. It'll make you want to snitch on people. Some people because it's similar to this is, I don't know, I don't want to say. During around World War II, people because of fear, people would turn in people and shit like that, or brainwash
their own people.
I think you're more looking at post World War II when communism was starting on the rise.
We'll see, communism uses fear too.
But you can use, I can see you can use the Germans as well, because that's what they did. They would snitch each other out because of Jews or whatnot, because of rewards and anything like that, because of lust of money, greed.
Money, greed, but also fear of because what I'm thinking is now, right? Like, because they're trying to get it going, but I think people are waking up, which is going to be another podcast about spiritual awakenings.
I have a theory.
Well, actually, that does go in with your fear, because you got to understand during that time for the Germans and the Nazis, and it's not defending anything that they did, but it's what the devil used to make these people the way that they were, to make them, not.
We're not comparing nobody to Nazis. We're just talking about Nazis.
But imagine this, that you one day you get out of this war, and about a week later, a loaf of bread goes from being 3 francs to 3,000 francs. in a matter of a couple hours. So you're starving. You've watched your family starve. You've watched people die. You've watched horrendous things, revolution. You went through all this from 1920 all the way to 1932, I think, when the Nazi regime rose to power.
Damn.
That fear that all those people saw is what led to the rise of evil. You know, it's because of the greed of that Treaty of Paris. I think it was the Treaty of Paris, or the Treaty of Versailles.
One of the Versailles.
One of those two. Because of that, and because of the way that they did not think that this is not the German people's fault, this is mainly their leadership's fault. Let's blame them. They blame the entire country. And basically what you did was you turned the fear of them starving again, because it's what you did. It turned them evil. And the devil used that to be able to turn an entire nation evil, to where, you saw what they did.
Darth Vader, that fear.
For example, right now, I think a lot of people who believe who at first believe in the jab, and whose belief in the jab is starting to dwindle. Yes, and their belief in the different strains.
Yeah.
Was so, oh my God, and the belief in the face diapers and all this shit. Like there's some people who I'm pretty sure are starting to want to jump on the side that's on the other side, but they have a fear of being labeled a conspiracy theorist.
Being ostracized.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, look, man, like, hey, man, like, see, that's the thing. That fear of just self doubt.
Fear being able to be honest.
Yeah. Like it's like, okay, look. Wouldn't you prefer, if it's you and 99 other people, wouldn't you prefer to even if you have to stand alone in your truth, and that you legit know in your heart is real, then have to be on the side with the 99 who are just basically following each other.
Right.
If
and then always living with that, like, knowing that
I'm the fucking sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey son, like, no, bro, see, you that's disrespecting yourself. You're worth more than just following the crowd. You're worth going to legit research what's going on. If you have doubts, it's okay, bro. Don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna be labeled a conspiracy theorist, or people are gonna look at me weird.
And what's crazy is facts. The pharmaceutical industry pays a lot of money to the media. And
hey, you're gonna get flagged if you keep talking about this.
So?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay.
Fuck him. Who cares?
But like,
the guy who started this podcast 100 episodes ago, who doesn't want any more episodes taken down. So, if this podcast gets taken down, then all the wisdom you said, who the fuck's gonna hear it?
No, but I put it on Spotify. The audio's on Spotify.
Man, fuck Spotify. They don't pay me. They don't pay me.
One day they might, bro. Like, shout out to Joe Rogan. He's like a fucking revolutionary.
But he had to sell out to go on there, in my opinion. He agreed. He basically had to agree to have episodes censored. I don't care if you offer me $1 million. You tell me you're gonna censor me. I don't want that shit.
But it's still less censoring than YouTube.
Look at what he said. He's like a communist. No, he's like, it's just a little bit. He's the devil.
I don't feel like he's censoring. I didn't read the
So Chris would say,
no, I don't think he's censoring.
The devil says, here's $1 million. Let me just censor you a little bit, Chris. You're gonna be like, okay, well, you know what? I don't mind. It's for the best after all. Censorship is okay in little doses. And then you have the Patriot Act, sir. No.
Fear.
Fear of what? You've got. Come on, fear of what? You got everything you need right in this room.
No, I'm not saying me. I'm just saying fear made the Patriot Act.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I have no fear.
Hell yeah.
No fear. Shout out to that skateboarding.
Yes, the Patriot Act, all the mandates right now, it is all based on this. Give us some of your privacy, and we'll take away some of your fear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, Ben Franklin. Wait, yeah, give us some of your privacy. Yeah. So Ben Franklin had a saying. He had a saying. Any man who would give up a little bit of privacy.
No, it's.
Oh, wait, say it again. A little bit of freedom. I got it. No, you don't. I got it. I gotta look it up.
If you are a man and you are willing to give up your rights for security, you deserve neither of them.
Our historian, he's gonna double check it.
Yeah, he's gonna double check it. He's gonna correct me probably.
Dude, I went through a whole Ben Franklin course. I can't just allow.
I just remember that one quote. You probably remember more than me.
So
I remember that and a story from that Ben audiobook.
The devil wants to use his addiction.
Yes. He uses the addiction to keep control of you, to manipulate you, to make you make decisions on shit that you wouldn't normally do on a normal mindset. You know, you get
a desperation.
You either there's different variations of being drunk. You're very chill drunk, but
Let me say it.
but the risk of that is you probably could die quicker because you know you just chill, you keep drinking, and you know nobody can tell if you're chilling or you dying from alcohol poisoning. What?
So this once again this
so deep to say real quick.
This describes communism and the Patriot Act and all the
fear and all
the crap that's going on. Ben Franklin said this: those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. So yeah, bro.
It's pretty close.
If you're gonna be out there, Romo was way closer. Yeah, he's close. Yeah, Romo's on the money. I just had to give you. I just gave the exact verbatim quote. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, that is basically saying that like if you think that right now, like, oh, I'm willing to give up my privacy and you know put, you know, like for example in some countries, you know, the whole putting all my information, health information, you know, bank information, you know, residential information, birth information on one little card. You know, they
already got microchips for old people.
To some people, that's a good idea. You know, to some people, it's like, oh, well, you can take some of my privacy because it'll make my life easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you really trade. So the trade-off here is your freedom for a little bit more convenience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your
but
privacy.
See, the problem is they're like, oh, I don't have anything to hide, but then at the same time, like, you don't know
That's
history.
How it starts.
You don't know history.
That's
like,
how it starts,
people in
bro.
power corrupts.
Yeah.
We're giving them more power, and then they're selling their information because that's valuable information. Everything that they get.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize, like, how, you know, like, if you broke it down, like, for example, all the stuff that you put up on your social media that sometimes promotes other channels, like, you're basically you're giving free promotion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every time you retweet, you repost, whatever the fuck people do now.
It's free marketing.
Yeah, you're free marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're basically.
We're worth a lot of money to a lot of companies, and we don't even realize.
They don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a lot of these security companies online that are like, no, we'll protect your information. It's, man, you don't think for not a damn second that they aren't the ones that are creating the worms and the viruses in the first place?
Like for example,
it's just to sell us their security?
Like for example, people are just now starting to realize, like, there's no such thing as this cloud. It's just another computer, bro. Like, come on, man. There is no, you know what I'm saying? Like, people really, you know, like,
they really believe this thing exists. It's like, no, it's just it's basically another hard drive.
You
like,
want
go get you a hard drive.
You want to know how to protect your information? Go back to putting it on paper,
like really the safest way.
Yes, like a legit individual. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened on the What If episode. Like, that's the only way they can save the world because it was on paper.
And that's how the phones manipulate you, bro. Because you have on here everything, your banking information, or your most private thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
And in the fear of losing that,
your favorite music, you know, all the stuff
like,
you have bookmarked, pictured, every picture you've ever taken, you know, everyone's numbers you wouldn't remember because we don't remember phone numbers.
This is basically a digital wallet. If people don't really realize,
bro, that's our soul.
For some people, it
is. I used to be that way.
So think about the anxiety, yes, and it happens to all of us. What happens when you've lost or you think you've lost your phone? You know that. You know, and for most people, it's like, oh my God, like I said, there's my life. You know what I'm saying?
And that also leads into addiction.
Yes.
People are addicted to their phones. People are addicted to alcohol.
But yeah, the alcohol could lead to. What was the last thing I said? Oh yeah, if you're children, the different levels of drunk.
Would you crack?
I wonder how that would sound. I wonder how it sounded.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, it leads you. Yeah, alcohol and any type of drug can lead you in doing things that you normally wouldn't do.
Any addiction.
Any addiction can.
Yeah.
Firstly, seeing it from a guy doing, you know, heroin and cheese and crack, or not crack. He actually didn't touch heroin and crack, but he touched cheese, wet, you know, meth. And then
he's like everything but.
That's like if we're gonna give it a blanket term, that's all crack. You know what I mean? Like, that's all crack behavior.
Crack is whack.
Either way, you know, you see it from that, and then you see it from a personal view of alcohol and what it does, you know, and you see that you don't make the brightest decisions on these things. You know, you don't. Even when you're high, you don't make the brightest decisions when you're fucking stoned out of your mind high. Like, sometimes you miss work. Sometimes, you know, you don't take your kids out to the place they want to go because you're fucking high. You know, sometimes
any addiction, too much of anything can fuck you up.
Lead you to going and getting, you know, food that you don't normally eat.
Ooh,
you know, that's the
food
main thing.
addiction is dangerous. Sugar.
Oh,
the
I'm
food
there.
addiction.
I used to be an emotional eater.
Alcohol could lead you to
shit. I still am sometimes.
To lustful behavior, you know, sexual behavior, sexual addiction, like, you know,
also the anger. Alcohol fuels all that.
Yeah,
It
alcohol
can make
be-
all the devil's tentacles even more powerful.
Oh, you talking to the guy who? Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Well, that's what we're saying. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. It
sadness, all that shit, all the
It
tools
leads
of
you
the
into
devil,
all of that. And
addiction will.
the ultimate thing it'll lead you to, all these addictions and whatnot. And when you start getting addicted to something, that's the devil's final plan going into effect.
He's tightening the screws in
Yes,
your
it
brain.
is.
And,
And
your
it's
soul.
gonna take faith to get you through it. And to be honest with you, it's
I want to know
really
why
what
you
it's gonna
laugh.
take. Yeah, what
It
you
had to
laugh?
do with that name. I'm not allowed to say so. No,
Okay. Oh, my name?
no, that name I'm not allowed to say so.
I mean, you already said it.
But I'm gonna. But if I say it, if the situation's really not nice, you're gonna be like, no, why you put that out there like that?
Okay, yes, I do.
But
Tell that to the podcast.
Oh, I sure will.
But yeah, it leads you to doing things like for dealing with a meth addict for years. You know, you see that they
It's not real
They
human
speak-
thinking, right? It's like
they
a-
speak in a lot of emotion.
Mm.
It's to make it. I'm trying to make it blatantly as you can because it's a lot of anger. It's a lot of pent up frustration. But from what I'm seeing, that what meth does is it reveals a lot of inner demons, just amplified by 10.
Shit, so does weed,
Yeah.
in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
It can.
It can.
But I mean, okay, then that's by
But-
100.
Yeah.
Meth is
Yeah.
by 100, weed is by 10.
Well, I wouldn't know. He's the expert on it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, you know, because there's still things that I'm. You know, it's,
Yeah, I mean,
didn't know.
he's
But
witnessed it a little bit.
seeing how they act, it's you see the devil in them. It's crazy. And then even when you try to get the heart to heart with him, you can just see how the devil is like, you know, he laughs at you. You know, I've looked my brother in the eyes and had heart to heart conversations with him.
It's almost like your brother's off to the side, inside, and the devil's taking
I can see him,
control.
but the devil's just laughing at me. He's like, he can't hear you because he's too deep in his own shit. I'm winning right now. It's like, no,
I'm in control.
what this will do, and it's having faith again that what you're saying will finally get through. And you know, after fucking almost 10 plus years of him doing this, you know, he's finally getting it. He's in jail right now, but you know, he's
Sometimes
starting to get it.
yeah.
Yeah, once you get a clear mind and you start seeing more love in his heart than what he had, you started seeing, you know, the words that I said to him early on in his life, and it's starting to get to him.
You know what's crazy? Some people need jail because you're forced to be alone. And then a lot of times people read the Bible in there and they get closer to God.
And then you find out you're not really alone.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, is that the devil will make you feel like you're absolutely alone, especially when you're dealing with addictions and whatnot. You feel like you're alone,
Yeah.
but in reality, you're never alone. He's always there. You know, he's always gonna be around there. You know, he'll always forgive you, but he's looking for you to self-forgive yourself. And that is a main combatant of that, of addiction, of lust, of anything that you do that the devil doesn't make you do, but the devil kind of influences you to do. That's the main way to combat those other emotions, like, you know, attacking yourself or making yourself feel like shit. And it's, you know, making yourself feel sad and making yourself even more angry than what you are. You know, it's self-forgiveness.
Yes.
Learning how to forgive.
And even if you're lying to yourself, tell yourself, compliment yourself, because we're always like, we're programmed to hate ourselves,
Mhm.
to always judge ourselves, and nobody sees us the way that we're our biggest fucking critics. So it's important
Yeah.
to like compliment yourself and shit to yourself.
Self-love, you know,
Yeah.
self-forgiveness.
It's a big way to
Forgiving others, so that way, you know, you're not having these hateful thoughts. And it's using these emotions, and if you can't flip them, then use them to create something.
Yeah.
And
Which hate, I was gonna say hate is another one. Envy, you know, tools by the devil,
Mhm.
and just turn that shit into love. Just turn that shit into something positive.
Mhm.
You gotta be a little factory that can absorb something and clean up that energy and then spit it back out as like pure water.
yeah,
Yeah, taking that sewage, spitting out pure, clean, drinking non-fluoride.
but
Wow.
and that's the best way to attack hate is love. You know, it's always like a saying that I've always heard when I was young. I got it from a show, you know, but it makes a lot of sense when you look at it later on in life. Because when you have the clear eyes and a clear vision and a heart full of love, you can never lose.
Amen.
You can never lose against anything.
Amen.
And I think we still got a lot more. I don't know. Vino got hungry.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry too. What you got? You got something over there for everybody?
Well,
This is not podcast discussion right
You're right. But
But,
we're at 40. You still got more.
Yeah, but like Ramos says, he just said he's got a lot
Oh,
more.
okay, my bad.
I thought, yeah, you want something sweet or something savory?
Savory.
Let me buy something.
Thank
Keep
you.
talking. Keep talking.
Yeah.
So what other tools does the devil use?
To combat the devil, what the devil uses him.
Or well, I mean, what were you gonna say? Because I mean, I'm trying to think of.
Well,
all
I
the
mean, because
tools
you got
that
to
he
think, you know, it's like, okay, I can hear all these things, but give us examples of like what in our lives that we have to deal with that like for me, I'm starting to flip now. It's like I've always been a combative type of person. I always look for an argument with people, and I've always been just a little bit of a toxic person to sit here and say because I like argument. So instead of now, what I'm looking at is like have constructive arguments. You know, have arguments that like you're not debating over something stupid.
Make it enjoyable for both parties.
Exactly.
Right.
You
You're
know?
not trying to win. Because if you think of conversations as competitions and won that conversation, it's like people are gonna hate you.
Or arguments with your parents. You know what I'm saying? It's always like you feel like, man, if I feel like I say I'm sorry, like what if they really? I was like, first, like your parents are never gonna ridicule you. You know, if not, then there's some bad parents.
Yeah.
But it's always humility in yourself of saying, you know, yeah, I'm sorry. Or going up to a friend and then, you know, lowering that pride and lowering all that. Because what's keeping you from saying, hey, I fucked up, my bad, is your own pride. You know, it could be in anything, in your relationships, in anything. You know, I've had times where I've been too prideful to sit there and say I'm sorry and it's ruined relationships. You know?
Or hey, you know what you said right there? That's totally true.
Damn. Also, you can't say sorry all the time because then it's like you're not even trying anymore.
Hey, you gotta. That's another step. It's
Right.
like you keep saying, "Oh, you know, I'm
The
sorry,
realest
I'm sorry." You know,
The realest apology is
Doing
we don't have to apologize anymore. That means okay, you worked on it.
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
because that's the next step that God's gonna ask you. Then it's like, okay, you've forgiven yourself. You know, I'm always gonna forgive you. How are you gonna apply this knowledge? Are you gonna repeat the same cycle again,
It's the true test.
or are you gonna go out there and apply the knowledge in which you've been given? You know, in the last few months, you know, I've had to apply everything that I've learned over the last course of being in that dark and being in that pain that I was in. And instead of looking at it like, oh my God, you know, woe is me, you know, why me? I'm like, you know, why not me?
So poetic. Woe is me.
Yeah, why not?
More of that poetry.
Like, whoa.
But why not me though? It's
Why
it's God puts you through all these things so that way you can be able to overcome them and become a stronger person, the man in which you want to become. You know, and that's what I'm starting to see. I've applied a lot more control over my emotions. You know, having not total control, but knowing that when things get out of whack and out of the ordinary in this sort of sense, and in the sense chaos.
Right.
I learned to keep my peace. I've learned to keep myself kind of more intact. And even if I fail, and I do kind of get a little frustrated and flustered or whatever, I remember the key thing that I used to do. I always found something to blame. That's what everybody does. They look for someone to blame or something to blame or something instead of saying, you know what, I fucked up. It is what it is.
It's hard to
We're
do.
just gonna go with it.
Yeah.
And see where it goes.
I'll try not to do it again.
I will take every L. Like, you know, I stayed late at work because I took too long of a break. Maybe I should have watched what I was doing, and I didn't. I dropped the ball in a sense.
You're talking about today?
Hey.
At
Take
work?
responsibility.
Anytime.
Just situation.
Oh, okay. My
Anytime.
bad. Didn't mean to
Just kind of
put you on the spit,
yeah.
dog.
But no, yeah, in any sense, like say you go to the workplace and you say every day for like 4 months, you're like, I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna fluster and get mad. And today was the day that the devil won, and you got
See, I was
mad and
gonna
cussed
say-
the boss out.
Okay. He won like a little battle, but not the war.
He didn't
Right.
win the war.
Just
Because
a little battle.
what you can do at that point when you do go off is you can sit there and not grovel and beg,
Right.
but take what the consequences of your actions are.
Or don't let it fuck up your entire day.
Yeah.
Which I used to let 5 minutes fuck up my whole day. Or for hours.
There's no saying I learned like he's me calm. It's a whole 5-5-5 thing. Is this thing you're about to get mad at gonna matter in 5 minutes? Is it gonna matter in 5 days? Is it gonna matter in 5 months? No, probably not.
Not at all.
And do you want to be having to bring this up in next 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 whatever,
Right.
and having to apologize
For your reaction.
Exactly, because you know you're gonna apologize. You're like, I'm gonna fuck. Oh yeah, I'm right. You know, sometimes your anger just keep pushing you forward, but
It's almost like a Hulk thing
yeah,
where you
it's
like
like
start
yeah,
to
it's
ignore
like no,
it.
I'm gonna burn this bridge. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like all
Bury
right,
this
you're
bridge.
just giving yourself more
Yeah.
work to do in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I hear this saying now, it's like, I burn these bridges because I know how to swim. It's like, alright, motherfucker, all you're telling me is that you're ready to just start a war. Instead of sitting there saying, well, why can't we find
Yeah,
peace?
instead of working
And
things
who
out,
knows?
you're just gonna say fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and who knows if the bridge is on top of water? What if it's on top of like piranha filled water or lava or rocks? There's rocks down there. Just because you can swim don't mean you can fucking survive without that bridge. You might need that bridge.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I get
It's kind of dumb, but
I smell
But-
what you're cooking.
Yeah, it's in that sense, you know, and the devil's gonna keep trying to go after you, and if you can't, damn, I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to gain back.
Maybe the universe is talking to you right there.
That should
Maybe
stop.
it's doing the whole Dave Chappelle thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
See the
I'm
light?
doing the whole wrap it up thing. Remember,
No.
Dave Chappelle had a wrap it up skit.
oh yeah.
No, but I think the final thing to say on all this is that the main combatant thing that you can have is having faith in God, and don't succumb to what the devil's trying to do to you. You know, don't let him destroy everything around you. Catch yourself.
Hey, but faith in God, but faith in yourself too, because remember, God doesn't just help a mother lover who's just sitting there crying for help. God helps a mother lover who makes that first step. You know what I'm saying?
Because as you said, we're creating God's image, so we have power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we should also
God helps him who helps himself.
Yeah.
Real
Exactly.
shit. Or
And
herself. I'm being, this is not
And
They
people-
self.
Yeah.
We'll sit there and wonder why should I submit myself to God? Why? And it's like, well, it's humility. It's submitting to somebody higher than you. Because other than that, if you don't,
And that's what
you think
faith
you're
is.
God.
That's what faith is. Faith is when you have nothing left. Everything is burned. Your wife left you. Your kids don't fucking love you. You got no job. If you still got faith and true faith in God, brother, you know what? This is all for something better. This is all for something. I'm not being delusional, right?
Right.
I'm not saying like, oh my God, bad things are happening. What a good thing in my life, right?
Right.
No, but like, hey man, like, if you can assess the situation and realize that maybe I did things to put myself in this bad situation, and you know what? Maybe this is a sign that I need to get off my ass and get myself out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because what is not doing anything or blaming other people or getting angry or giving into all these things brought you to this point where you've lost everything.
And if you're afraid of walking that path alone, because some people do need it, but again, you're not alone. You know,
Right,
you're
never
just
alone.
allowing what God has given you.
Look for the
and
fucking synchronicity.
You're letting go of things that you're attached to and seeing
Yeah.
what stays with you. You know, if you feel too attached to something, you know, let it go and see if it stays. And if it's meant to stay, it'll stay. If it doesn't, then well, it's not meant for you. And God will put something else in front of you that is for you. Don't be afraid of that path.
Amen,
It's
bro.
and the final thing. I'll leave it at this, and we'll call it on this episode. My homie's mom has this one saying, and it's the weirdest saying, and I'll leave it with food for thought. But with faith, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. I'll let a lot of people, ponder, well, what the fuck do you mean by that? Yeah, it's a weird saying, and it's a random one. But if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Because mustard seeds are actually really strong seeds, and they can move a lot of things. But you gotta have faith that it'll move it.
So what is it?
And on that note, good
Exactly.
episode.
Yeah.
Episode 101.
101, baby.
The devil's tools and how you can use them against him.
Peace.